Doing
Good.
great.
Doing great. Doing great.
All right. Welcome to another episode of We Married Now.
Can we talk?
Yes, we're definitely going to talk today. We're going
Uh
to
oh.
talk a
Uh
lot
oh.
today.
You hear
So,
that? That sounds deep. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we're going to get a little bit deep here today.
Oh.
So we may go a little bit longer than we normally do.
Okay.
We've been averaging around 35, 36 minutes.
Yep.
We'll probably hit around 45 minutes today because I think we got a pretty interesting topic.
Okay. Here we go. Here we
To
go.
talk about today. But I am Mr. Anthony Williamson, and this is
No, wait a minute. Usually you do AKA.
no AKAs today.
Oh my
No,
what?
no
Oh
AKAs.
come on.
No
Come
AKAs.
on.
No AKAs.
Come on.
Just one.
Okay.
Joy Be Nice, AKA Joy Be Nice.
What about the man in the room? What is it?
Yeah, the man in the room,
Yeah.
AKA the man in the room,
Yeah.
AKA Joy Be Nice,
Okay.
AKA Mr. Chop Chop.
Yes. I like all those.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool. Well, today, Mr. Williamson.
Okay. And I'm Kim. KD.
KD.
Mrs. Williamson.
Yes, my partner, my sidekick,
Yes.
my
Yes.
beloved.
Hey, his boo thing.
My
Oh,
boo
okay.
thing, my ride or die,
That's right. That's
Bonnie
right.
and Clyde. That's
We
where
are
we're
each
at
other's
with
ride or
this.
die. That's true.
Yeah. So today, I
Oh,
want to come.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Had a great Sunday. Went to church today.
Yeah.
Got some good word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Much
Great.
needed.
Great
So,
day. Great day. So yes.
Great day.
Great
Every day
day.
is a great day. That's the way I see it. Every day is a great day.
You're right.
So,
Totally right. Great weekend. Great Sunday. Weird
yeah.
weather here, but I digress. Anyway, it's been
Yeah.
great.
Anyway, it's been great.
It was because it was better than they expected. You know, they just don't know. At the end of the day, God knows the weather. That's it.
Yep. Yep.
The weather people really don't know. So it actually was with a better, less rain than they said. So we had a great weekend.
Yeah, had a great weekend.
Yeah.
But I want to come out the gate on all cylinders.
Oh,
I want to
yikes.
fire.
You hear?
Normally we do our trending.
Yep.
We're not going to do that today.
Oh.
No trending.
Okay.
No top 5.
Okay.
Over the weekend at the barbershop, we had some pretty good conversation going on.
Okay.
As usual.
Okay.
And one of the questions that was asked at the barbershop, this is a relationship question.
Okay.
So it falls right into place with our segment today.
Okay.
One of the questions that was asked was when a couple breaks up, during the dating stages, you do a lot together. You're introduced to a lot.
Right.
So you're introduced to that person's possibly favorite restaurant, their favorite barbershop.
Okay.
You're introduced to a lot of stuff that you didn't know about before.
Right.
So the question was asked in a breakup.
Okay.
Is it okay to ask the other person not to frequent, say, the other person's favorite place?
Wow.
Not only that.
Wait. What if it's now their favorite place?
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. I can't wait.
Not only places, but people.
Oh, I had a feeling
Let's
you were
say
gonna that.
person A introduced you to several of their friends.
Oh, okay.
Now we've all become friends.
Right.
But now the big breakup. Do I have a right to ask you, hey, I'm gonna
Stop hanging out with so and so.
Stop hanging out with so and so, or restaurant Andy's that we used to go to together. That's my favorite restaurant. They serve my favorite drink. It took me a long time to get the bartender in my pocket.
Wow.
That's my spot.
Wow.
I introduced you to that spot. Now I'm asking you not to frequent my favorite spot.
Wow.
Is it okay to ask the other person that question? Is it okay to demand that? Do you think that's right?
Okay, we went from ask to demand.
Well, it just depends.
Okay.
It depends on the breakup. There's friendly breakups. There's bad breakups.
Right.
So depending on the breakup, you may ask.
Yeah.
You may demand.
Okay.
But either way, is it right? Does that even make sense?
Right. Right.
I personally
Wow.
feel like it's a fine line.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two friends that are like family, like really really close, and it's
Yeah.
like we hang out.
Right.
I don't want to keep bumping into you. I don't mind bumping into you, but I don't want to. I
Could
don't.
get a little
Yeah,
awkward.
you got to come out that circle. So
You got to come out that circle.
now
So the
with
decision has been made.
yeah, the
So
decision's been
sounds like
made.
with people, it's who was with those people first.
Who was with the people first? Who I introduced
Wow.
you to?
Maybe the people like the new person even more.
And that brings up a whole nother thing. Then you kind
Yeah.
of leave it up to them. I mean, do you ask them first? Hey, I'm going to ask Jane,
Yeah.
not to hang in the circle anymore.
Yeah.
Are you guys cool with that? Because I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, well, we need some feedback. This is
Yeah,
I
we need
think
some feedback on
when you
that.
said you're going all cylinders, you're right.
Yeah,
You
we're going
came out
all
the gate with this one,
cylinders.
and I honestly think we should get some feedback on this one, like during the week, and come back and even talk more about it next week.
Yeah, but
'Cause
if you guys want to, give us some feedback today,
oh,
please
definitely,
do. We
please.
welcome
Oh
it.
my gosh,
We want
please.
it.
If
We
someone,
want it.
if
We
people
want
are
it.
watching right now, definitely go on the chat and please, please, please let us know what you think about that. Both as of course, we could look at it as the people that are involved. I mean,
Correct.
was it a breakup of the couple? Everybody can look at it from that perspective, and we could all look at it as we're the friends or the family now of
Right.
people that have broken up. All of us have been in that situation.
Right.
Absolutely, every person.
Yeah.
So wow, it's big. That's big.
That's a big one.
And you know what? I think sometimes you maybe stay friends or family with those people, but now you have to hang differently. You have to hang separately, or the kind of things. Even if you're like you're saying, maybe not only did you the person introduce you to their friends,
Yes.
and you went to their favorite restaurant.
Yes.
To your point, and so now it's like okay, maybe maybe on the side you'll still hang with those friends, but
Yeah.
golly, don't go to the person's restaurant too. I mean, that's like salt in the wound.
Because
Because the person may show up.
What if I like your mama's macaroni and cheese? At Thanksgiving time, can I show up at Thanksgiving and be like,
wow.
"Hey,
Now, see,
what's
you
up,
went
everybody?"
deep. You went deep,
Can I do that? I'm
You-
just coming
oh,
for some
dang.
macaroni and cheese and some dressing,
and you just
And,
want
you
you just
know.
wanted to go.
yeah,
But see, that turns into a stay. Oh,
wow,
everybody. Oh,
Yeah.
look, everybody's there.
Yeah.
Let me just step in and say hi. That turns into that.
So yeah, that's a deep question. That's actually we wanted that to be another segment, but that was so deep. I wanted some feedback on
Yeah.
that one because that can
Yeah.
go all kind of ways.
Yeah.
that can go all kind of ways. I think if
Woo!
it's a good mutual breakup,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's an understanding there. Hey,
So it kind of sounds like you. It depends on the level of how good the food is.
how good the food is because
Somebody's mama's mac and cheese.
I'll
and
work
dressing.
that thing. I'll come over after everybody's gone. Hey, I got mama's number. I'll call her. Hey, I need that.
Right.
I can come over tomorrow and get
Okay,
it.
come before. Okay, so you'll work that thing out.
Yeah, I work
And
that
then,
thing out.
so it sounds like you're big on that, and the restaurant with maybe your favorite bartender or someone that a server or someone that's like your fave. Sounds like that's close to your heart too.
That's close to my heart.
Okay.
Maybe you stay on the other side of the bar or something.
That's still that might be too close for comfort.
But
still.
if I put time in, I've got that bartender in my pocket. He sees me coming. My drink is already sitting there. Everything is good.
Right.
I can't give that up. I can't get that.
It does sound hard to pass up, right?
So we may have to agree on days that I'm here on Fridays and Saturdays. You can have the other days or something to that effect.
Something like that. Something.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that was a deep topic.
That was
at the shop.
That's deep.
Wow. So I wanted to get that out there, and I would love some feedback on that. Do you have the right to ask the ex not to frequent places that you introduced them to, or friends that you introduced them to? Not friends you made while you were in the relationship, not restaurants and places that you discovered while in the relationship, but at the very beginning. I asked you out. hey, I got this favorite restaurant I like to go to. You can take me there. We go. Then over time, it becomes ours, and then that happens, and now it's like who has proper ownership of what.
Wow.
So you guys think about that. Shoot us some feedback, and
Yes, yes, yes,
next
please.
Sunday we'll come back, and if we have any feedback on that, we'll share some of that, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a pretty good one. So with that being said, we're going to get to the major topic of the day, what our
Okay, here we go.
segment is about. And as I told you last Sunday, we're going to talk about the 5 stages of a relationship.
Okay.
Uh, we're in relationships all the time, whether they're long term or short term. Uh, and like I've always said, there's a lot of books, there's a lot of information out there,
Yeah.
but once you enter into that relationship, it becomes how the two of you make it.
Right.
So, and what works for you. But there is a base to this whole thing.
Right.
Uh, so you kind of build off of that base, and then you figure out if you want a 3 bedroom house or a 4 bedroom house, or if you want 2 bathrooms or just one, or that type of thing. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
So we're going to talk about the 5 stages, and I'm going to run those down to you real quick.
Ooh.
And these are in proper order. These are the orders that the relationship is developed,
Okay.
how it's worked. So, uh, step one, stage number one, the awkward stage.
Okay.
So, we all know about the awkward stage, but I'm gonna run them all down real quick.
Okay.
The awkward stage is number one. Attraction stage, that's number two. So you have awkward, the attraction stage. Stage number three is uncertainty. Stage number four is intimacy. I have a hard time saying that word, intimacy. And number five is the partnership stage.
Okay.
So those are the 5 stages:
Okay.
awkward, attraction, uncertainty, intimacy, and partnership.
Okay. Wow. That's
So,
deep.
yep, that's
That
very
is
deep.
very deep.
That's
Okay.
very deep.
Okay. Okay. Let's
So,
go.
you
Let's
know, again,
dive in there.
we go into relationships, and it may sound kind of basic or silly, like, yeah, you should know how relationships work. None of us know. Once again,
No.
you customize it once you get into it.
Right. Totally.
So
Totally.
it's however you work that thing, but these are the basics. So, as I said, the first stage is the awkward stage,
Okay.
and I think everybody would agree on that one. That
Yeah.
the very first stage, when you meet somebody,
Right.
you're there's attraction there. You see somebody from across the room, and it's like, oh man, yeah, that person's cute, what have you. But let's say you're finally, there's an introduction there, and you guys are finally introduced, or there's a leeway into something there.
Right.
So it's kind of awkward. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
One person may be shy, one person may not like to talk a lot or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's awkward, just kind of feeling each other out.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the very beginning stage.
Right. And I think that, you're in the very beginning, you're trying to figure out whether you guys, whether you met somewhere out,
Mm-hmm.
whether someone was introduced, whether
Mm-hmm.
it was online, whether it was all the, different ways that people can meet.
Yeah.
But in the very beginning, whether you're talking on the phone,
Right.
you're having your first couple of dates, all of those things, you're like,
Yeah.
do they even like me? Do I like them? I mean, you're
Yeah.
really just trying to get that feeling, and that can be awkward. And then
Yeah.
you're also starting to get into things like talking on the phone, probably, and
Or
um,
if they like me, do they like me?
yeah,
Do
right,
they like me? Do they not like me?
right, right, awkward. And
Yeah.
let's say you're a kind of person that likes to talk on the phone,
Yeah.
and you're trying to figure out, but are they, right? Because maybe you want to be on the phone, oh, I like to talk at night,
Right.
talk in the morning, or are you more of a texter, right? Or are you kind of, hey, my day is busy, so you may or may not hear from me for a couple days.
Right.
I think even those kinds of things, it's awkward because you're just trying to see how they are. I mean,
That's it.
it's not even to a point yet where you're judging that,
Hmm.
whether you want to be bothered with that. Can I handle that?
Right.
You're just even trying to receive it so that you can then say, oh,
Yeah.
okay. But then you know where you're coming from. You're
Y-
like, okay, well, I like to talk at night, or I like a cute little text during the day, but dang, I just met the person last week, so
Yeah.
I don't have any expectations.
So no
So
matter what, no matter how cool you are, no matter how good you look, the awkward stage, I don't think anybody
what?
can get around
How
that.
good you look. Wait,
It-
what?
I'm just saying, in every relationship, the awkward
No, that's
stage
right.
is there,
No, you're
no
right.
matter what.
It's
I
and it's
don't
the
care.
beginning. It
It's
is.
the very
Even when you
beginning.
have those butterflies, even when you really think it's the person
Yeah.
that that you want to at least go on a few dates with,
Yeah.
not getting
Yeah.
too far ahead.
Yeah.
But even that, it's just I agree. I
Yeah.
think that awkward is a great word. You're just filling everything out and you don't even know if you like the person, do they like you,
Exactly.
all that. Yep.
Okay. So awkward stage. That's number one.
Yes.
Number one. So number two is the attraction stage. And you know that we all face that. That's how you get into the relationship. You know, we all have eyes. You know, yes, pretty eyes. We all have eyes, so that's how everything starts. You see somebody, and it's like, oh, and most of us have a type. So you see somebody that
Hmm.
fits that type. So, they catch your attention. So the attraction stage is always there. Uh, you know, uh, and that's also called the honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's kind of the
it's
most exciting.
it's the most exciting
Yeah.
stage because you're attracted to the person.
Yeah.
You want to be around the person. Uh, you want to have fun with the person, and you find yourself spending a lot of time with each other, calling each other.
Right.
You start kind of fading away from other circles and other things, and other people start noticing. Notice that you're not around as much anymore, or you're kind of hard to find now, or I
Right.
try calling you and your phone is always busy or going to voicemail. What's going on? Well, attracted to somebody, so you're wanting to get to know them, and
Yeah.
that's the honeymoon stage. So
Yeah.
yeah, you
That's
agree?
when, and I totally agree. And that's when you're thinking of all the things that you like, not even just physically. Of course, that's part of it.
Yeah.
But again, even it could be subtle things like the phone calls or the text messages or, um, just when you uh, go out on your dates
Yes.
and you see the person and you start having that, like I say, it's attraction and it's the physical, but there's also that excitement about, oh, is this gonna turn into something? If people are looking to be in a relationship, even when you're not looking to be in a relationship and the perfect person comes your way, you get those butterflies. I think that's the attraction stage.
That's
And
the
it
attraction
goes,
stage.
um, part of it is looks, but part of it is
Yeah.
so far what you know about the person. Now you've got past awkward. It's a mutual like of each other.
Right.
That's settled. And now
You're spending time with each other. You're
yeah.
going out. This is where the introducing comes into play. I'm learning you. You're learning me.
Yeah.
You're coming to my favorite restaurant.
Uh-oh, back to the first
Uh,
topic. Uh-huh.
hey, you know anybody that does eyebrows? Because I need my eyebrow. Hey, my barber can hook you up. I've introduced you to my barber. You know, all these things are coming into play.
That's good. That's
Uh,
good. That's
so
rich right there.
yeah, all those things are coming into play
Yeah.
during that stage.
No, that's good. And it's
So
definitely like you said, the honeymoon stage, the exciting part. Um, I think, you could say the butterflies, the looking forward to seeing the person
correct.
and that feeling like I mean, I think we talked about like our first date at Hula
That
Hands
Hula
and
Hands, right? Right.
how we felt when we saw each other. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so
And I can't ask you not to go there anymore because they're not in business anymore.
wow, you
So
see how
you got lucky.
you see how
I liked Hula Hands though. I liked Hula
wow.
Hands.
So he's trying to say he introduced me to Hula Hands. So if they were still open and if something had happened,
We would have to work that thing
woo!
out. We would have to work that thing out
Wow. See
because
how
the
you
drinks
do?
are
See how
really
they
good
do?
there.
See how
Anyway,
they do?
moving on.
Yikes.
The uncertainty stage. Okay,
Okay.
so now
Okay.
we the awkward stage, you know, that's the first one. The attraction stage,
Yeah.
we're getting to know each other. We're going out. We're spending time with each other. We're
Having
staying
fun.
up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, talking on the phone. The whole honeymoon stage.
Okay.
Okay. So now we're at the uncertainty stage. Uncertainty stage is falling in love and contemplating, long-term relationships.
Okay.
So now we're there. I think at that stage, you've kind of made a determination on we're more one-on-one. This thing is one-on-one.
Yeah.
People are starting to fall off, get off the bus. And I'm driving the bus and you're still on the bus. So we're riding this thing out
Yes, we're still
together.
together. Pinky.
Pinky? Is that what-
There we go.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
See
we're still
that?
together.
Yeah. Wow. Who got you that?
Wow.
So the uncertainty stage. So this is where it gets a little tricky.
Okay.
Uh, you're talking about a relationship. You're talking about now becoming kind of one-on-one.
Woo.
You're uncertain, maybe because there's baggage from the last relationship,
Uh-oh. What?
and you're not so sure. Maybe feelings, your feelings were hurt in the last one, and you don't want to get hurt again.
Yeah.
But you're kind of uncertain because this person is showing you everything that you like, and you're attracted to the person, and everything is going well, but you're still a little uncertain.
Okay.
So that's the uncertainty stage. So yeah, and I think we've all been there. I don't know of anybody that I've talked to that hasn't carried some luggage from the previous relationship into a new relationship, whether it's an overnight bag or it's the Samsonite 8-piece luggage on wheels that just rolls and rolls and rolls right along.
Yeah.
But we've all done that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the uncertainty stage.
Yeah.
That's an iffy one.
Oh, that is because now this is so the time when you're starting to think, are you gonna really get into a relationship with the person? So,
Right. If
so
is
this
this going to be
and this
long term?
okay, and this could be early on. I mean, this could be. I mean, we're still early. You could be dating for just a couple of weeks, few weeks, or
And
for a while, I guess.
once again, all relationships, none of them are the same.
Yeah.
Some move fast, some move medium, some
Yeah.
move slow.
Yeah.
So, there are people that have met and in 2 weeks, they've moved in. They're
Yeah.
they're doing their thing.
Right.
I know of couples that have been together 20 plus years and then decided to get married.
Yeah.
It just depends.
Okay.
But no matter what, you're going through those stages.
Yeah.
Whether it was awkward for a day,
Yeah.
and then the attraction stage, the honeymoon
Right.
was for 3 days, and then you got to the uncertainty on the fourth day,
Right.
and then hey, we about to get married, y'all.
You starting the pod. Next thing you know,
So-
you're starting the podcast.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're starting a podcast. So it just all depends. But
Right. Right.
that is the stage. So at that
Yeah.
uncertainty stage, yes, you're uncertain,
Yeah.
but you're definitely reached another level,
Yeah.
and you've spent time, you've gotten to know each other.
Right.
I'm sure you've met some members of the family or some
Okay.
friends here and
Okay.
there, and you've been put into that inner circle a little bit.
Okay.
And I think that's what makes it kind of uncertain, because now it's starting to get deep, and it's like, whoa, I don't
Yeah.
want to get too deep because I don't know if I'm going to stay or not.
Okay.
But I do like them, but I'm
Okay.
just not
Interesting.
sure.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
you
So
know-
this is where you're kind of a lot of self-talk, where you're trying
Yeah.
to figure out you know enough,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you're deciding, do I want to proceed?
Yeah,
Or
your
go back
mother's
to-
calling me, talking
or
about
go
what
back,
you like
go
to
back
eat.
to like a
and,
harem that if you used to have like a lot of
hey,
people you were dating, almost you could call them a harem. And I mean, so that's where you make that decision. Is that what we're saying?
somewhere around there. Somewhere around there.
Okay.
So
Inside, of course, inside joke.
Okay.
Anyway,
So,
my bad.
we've covered the first 3 stages.
Okay, yes.
Awkward, attraction, intimacy,
No, uncertainty.
Uncertainty. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Uncertainty. Stage 4, intimacy. So, keyword,
Yes.
intimacy.
Yes.
So,
So it sounds like we've gotten past the uncertainty and
we've gotten
decided
past the
to
uncertainty.
give it a try.
Yep.
To keep
Decided to give it a
going
try.
with and make the person your boo thing.
hmm
Mhm.
You've decided to get serious. You know, you taking that leap, and you know, you packed the overnight bag, and now you got a little drawer there, and taking showers in the morning, and going to work, and
Or you're
maybe I'll see
saying,
you later.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're
Yeah, yeah.
really you're making plans already.
Let's just say it's okay for you to leave things behind.
Yeah.
Now. So you're
Yeah.
at that stage.
Okay.
You're at that stage.
Okay.
You know, nobody's hiding anything. Nobody's telling you, hey, you forgot your earrings. No, it's okay. You can leave them sitting over
To
there.
delicately leave a
Yeah,
few
you
things.
might even get a door key. You at that stage, you might even get a
What?
door
Oh
key.
my gosh! Wait
You know,
now.
you haven't moved in.
What?
You haven't moved in.
What?
But if you're going to fix dinner for me that night, I might. Hey,
Oh,
go ahead and
look,
take the
now
key.
see,
You can.
now see, it's a key with some expectation. Oh,
Exactly.
oh, so you want to
Exactly.
come early before I get off work and you want to cook dinner? Sure, here's the key.
Yep. 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 And even
Yeah.
then, we're still good, because if things don't work out, I just call the locksmith. Hey, change that
Oh,
lock
wow.
for me.
Yeah.
We good. You keep a key for a souvenir. It all works
Not
out.
wow.
It all works
Sounds
out.
like he said that before, right?
But
I mean, that kind of rolled off his tongue pretty easy. But okay, so with intimacy, the intimacy stage,
Yeah.
it's not just the obvious, the physical or getting intimate, that kind of thing. While that's part of it, we really are talking about the extras.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
Yeah.
just about physical, even though that's
No.
there.
No, you're pretty much in a
But
relation.
yeah,
You
and
know,
you're in a
you're pretty
relationship.
close. You're very you're right there at the edge of crossing the
Oh
line.
yeah. Well, it
to-
sounds like you might be on
You're
you're in a relationship, but also the intimacy part of, like you said, um, you know, even the person, whether you let them in your house when you're not home or not, but just your comfort with the
Yes.
person. You know, now
Yes.
you're probably, you know, you're not always when you go visit, you're not just sitting upright in the chair and
No.
could I grab a bottle of water, or could you
No.
grab me a bottle of water, or can I
No,
go to the
no, no,
restroom?
no.
Now
No.
you sit down and you're
No.
like, hey, okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you grab the remote, you know, you're
Yeah.
changing channels or turning to your
As I
favorite
said, you've
thing.
got a drawer. You've got a drawer at this point,
Yeah.
because you know you frequent
If you
quite
want
often.
if you want something to drink, you go to the refrigerator yourself and get it.
Yep.
Okay,
Your
yeah.
favorite drink is kept in the refrigerator. and,
Okay, now
know,
talk about
that
that.
type of thing. Like I said, we're so close.
Okay.
And you know, we've already discussed, you know, we're pretty much more one-on-one.
Yeah.
You know, the outsiders tend to drop off. We're spending more time with each other. We're knowing each
Ooh,
other.
nice.
You know, again, moms is telling me, you know, come on over. I get the big piece of chicken when I come over. You know, that type of thing.
Right.
So
This is probably the stage where you fall in love with the mom's mac and cheese and dressing.
oh, most definitely.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
a lot.
Okay, that's intimacy
So,
right there. The intimacy. Bigger than just the physical. It's all the extras.
at that point, no matter what happens, we like this. The mac and cheese and the dressing and all, that's y'all can already expect he's coming over either at the end of the day or he's coming over tomorrow. So go ahead and let your boy know, hey, he kind of drops in on the holidays and stuff like that because of the food. Not because of me, but because of the food.
Woo!
So,
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those
Okay.
things. Okay, so
we keep touching that topic.
I
so.
digress.
Okay.
So we're bringing it to an end
Okay.
here as far as the stages. Awkward stage, attraction,
Yep.
uncertainty,
Yep.
intimacy.
Okay.
Now we're at the partnership
Ooh,
stage.
last stage.
Partnership is
Okay.
just what it says, partnership. Partnership has a lot of meanings.
Okay.
That could be living together. We've decided we're going to live together.
Oh wow. Okay.
So now we are partners. We are in this. This is 101.
Yeah.
Phone should not be ringing at 1:00 in the morning. And, you know, that type of thing. This is
Yeah.
a partnership.
Okay.
It also
a
could
public.
a
People know that you are now officially
yes
booed up.
booed up.
Okay.
Up. It could mean getting engaged. That's the partnership. We have
Ooh.
now made this official. We've gone
Okay.
through all the stages.
Okay.
Uh, you know, uh, I'm pretty much at your place 90% of the time, what have you, or you're at my place.
Yeah.
It's just we're there.
Yeah.
Expectations are there.
Yeah.
So
That
getting
sounds awesome.
engaged,
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
one.
Moving
Um,
in, getting engaged, just
yeah, and then
looking at things long term.
long term, and that's this is the last of it. Just getting to that point to where you start discussing long term. Where are we going with this? We definitely are in a relationship,
Okay.
but what are expectations? By next year, are we walking down the aisle, or are
Mhm.
we, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But we're definitely in a relationship. So
Okay.
you've reached the 5 stages. Uh, pass go. You're there.
Yeah.
You've got the golden ticket. Now, how you cash it in, or if you cash it in, you know, it's upon you. But
Okay.
knowing those 5 stages, we wanted to share that with you because
Yeah.
maybe it may help. You may be in stage number 2 right now, the attraction stage, which is the honeymoon stage. You guys have been spending a lot of time together. You're getting to know each other. You're going to each other's restaurants and
Bartenders.
barbershops,
Yeah.
and uh, you're picking her up from the hair salon, and she's introducing you to the girls in the hair salon. You're at that stage, the
Okay.
honeymoon
Okay.
stage. So maybe you're dressing alike. I don't
Oh
know.
wow.
Uh,
Okay.
ugh. but yeah, you're
Did y'all catch that? I mean, that was a ugh.
so yeah. Those you may be in that stage.
Okay.
So uh, knowing the stages may help you
Yeah.
clarify some things,
Yeah.
because sometimes things move so fast, and it's like, are we supposed to be at this point right now,
Yeah.
or how does this work?
Yeah.
So
And I think that uncertainty part is really key because it's right in the middle. It's
yes, yes,
literally number 3 out of 5. And so you're in the middle. And there is that, if we all think about it, there is the time where you're dating someone.
hmm
And so yeah, and definitely the attraction phase, like we said, the honeymoon phase. That's when yeah, I like this person and I think they like me. And they now you're starting to date, get to know each other, talk on the phone, do all those things like you said, maybe meet family,
yes,
definitely meet friends, go out. And and I think all of us can kind of, in a lot of relationships, not all, but in a lot of relationships,
yeah,
you can kind of say where, man, things were so good, we going out all the time, or
right,
not, or staying at home, or oh yeah, I met his friends, or things are just good. And that's it sounds like now we know that's the attraction stage.
yes,
But then there's always that kind of, it's almost like a beat, what I mean, that
okay,
happens where you're like, a weird week.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah,
we were kind of
yeah,
vibing, and now the vibe.
yeah.
Now it's not that you're getting ghosted, or you're not getting called at all, no callbacks. It's
Right.
not that. But I could kind of think about some times where there's been a relationship, and things are good in the very
Mhm.
beginning, and then there's just that one little blip,
Yeah.
and it's sometimes it's like a week. I mean, you
Yeah.
guys, everybody think of a couple of relationships, and and then you keep going though. Those aren't the bleeps, and then next thing you know, like I
Right.
said,
Right.
you take the person's number out your phone, you block, they block. It's not that. It's
No.
when and you still keep dating the person,
Mhm.
but there was that kind of awkward week,
Right.
and and not back to the stage of awkward, but that uncertainty. And I think that's when people are starting to decide, okay, I do like the person, and am I gonna start taking the next steps?
And
And
normally when that happens, that's a testing moment.
yeah,
No matter how
that's
small
right.
or big it is, it happens for a
That's
reason.
right.
And then you go into the lab, and that's when you sit down and, okay, what
Mhm.
just happened?
Mhm.
We've been out every weekend
Right.
for the last 3 months, and
Right.
now he's not returning a call, or she's not returning a call.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Right.
Did my breath stink or something? Did I do something wrong? And then the next thing you find out is, oh yeah, had to go out of town, family member passed away,
Yeah.
my bad. didn't tell you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got worked up for nothing.
Yeah.
So you know,
And you brought up something funny earlier, like when we're first dating someone, now that person kind of has your time
yes,
when you were normally hanging out with your guys or your girls or your
right,
family members or
right,
the church group or going to church more often or
hmm
doing, all the things that you're used to doing. Well, now
yes,
that time is kind of taken up a little bit. And I
right,
also think during that uncertainty stage, you do step back for a second.
uh huh,
And that's where, like you said, the person can kind of maybe not be as attentive or as calling and texting as much. And you're starting to be like, something going on.
you're
And then
right,
next thing you
right,
know, all they did was like, yeah, something happened and they didn't, like you said, a family member might have passed or something,
hmm
or work got really hectic. And you're like, yeah, because I've been, kind of not working my overtime because we were
right,
going out on dates,
exactly,
or
exactly,
something like that. Or you also find like, oh, you know what? Gosh, I haven't been out with the girls in a few weeks because I've been going out with him. So that's when you
yeah,
do that. And I think it is your step back moment. Just
hmm
like you said,
hmm
it's kind of you step back for a second and then you do end up saying, yeah, still going to proceed though. Now, how can I juggle all these things so
correct,
that they can all work together?
hmm
So I'm not kind of missing in action,
hmm
but you almost have to like get confirmation. To me, that uncertainty stage is where you have the confirmation moment. Like,
right,
yes, I want to weave this person into my life,
right.
and then up here comes intimacy.
Totally agree.
Yep,
Totally agree.
that's awesome.
So yeah, 5 stages of a relationship.
Yeah, this was deep.
That
And you,
it was deep. I liked it.
yeah,
And I think we're gonna pick
now,
back up on
oh yeah,
this.
definitely.
These are the
Please let
five
us know.
stages of the relationship. So we end with being in the relationship, the early
Yes,
stage of being in the relationship.
yes.
So we're gonna pick up from there at some point and you know, go to the next level with it, you
Okay,
know.
and let us know.
Uh,
Let us know, please. The We Married Now
mm-hmm.
Facebook page, Let It Flow, and then Anthony's Facebook
Correct.
page, my
Yep.
Facebook page. Definitely let us know like the stages. What do you think about that? Do you agree with it?
And get back
Um,
to us with the being able to ask the other person.
do you all see
No,
how he really wants to get back to this?
we got
Next week we're gonna have to have this. This
matter of
might have
fact,
to be
that's where we're going to pick up
okay.
next week.
We might even we might need a guest on next
Yeah,
week too.
we're definitely going to have a guest
Oh
on. I
look,
got a couple
you see
people
how
in
he
mind. I got a couple
okay,
people
yeah,
in
we do.
mind.
Yeah, me, I
We're
think
going to
so.
have a couple of guests on,
Okay.
but next Sunday, that's where we pick up.
Okay.
That's where we pick up.
Okay.
Do you have a right to excommunicate someone from the group, from your favorite restaurant that you introduced them to
Woo, come
while
on.
in,
And let's get some good perspectives again. Let's hear it. Let's
yes,
look at it from the perspective of the couple, right? And now you're the ex and or you don't want your ex going to your favorite place. But
yeah,
let's also look at it from the friends and family
friends
that
and
are
family.
that are
Yep,
impacted. And
yep.
like you're like, dang,
We're going to
I
talk
really
about that
like
thing.
so and so.
We're going to talk about that
Dang.
thing. We're going to talk about
Yeah,
that
when
thing.
you have
So,
that friend and they broke up with Johnny, and you're like, dang, I like
yeah,
Johnny.
because that one's going to get pretty
Johnny
deep.
was my spades partner.
That's
What?
right.
What do you mean you broke up with Johnny?
All that comes into play. All
Okay,
that comes
okay,
into play.
let's talk about that. I
So
know. I just thought about that. Now,
yeah, so we could go on all night, but we're going to
okay,
bring this to
okay,
an
okay.
end. And
Sorry,
next
I got
Sunday at 7 o'clock, we're going to come on a little bit earlier. 7 o'clock, we're going to bring that back up. Send us your questions and let us know and chime in. We really appreciate you guys.
Yes,
Keep watching,
yes.
and we're going to keep doing it. So see you next Sunday,
Bye.
7 o'clock.
Yes.
Peace.
See you guys.